Greetings, family, in the mighty name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This is the day the Lord has made. I believe you are rejoicing in it. Welcome to the session today, our God-fearing generation session. We are live today. I welcome you all, our GFG members. I welcome you. I believe you've got your diaries, you've got your pens to take notes today as we continue with our session. Welcome. Feel free to participate in this session. You can participate by sending us messages. We would love to hear from you. Due to the platform that we are using now because of COVID, which is live streaming, I know and understand that we are joined by our brothers and sisters out there. I would love to welcome you all. Feel free also to participate today as we continue. And then let me take this opportunity now to acknowledge my parents, my pastors, Pastor Christ and Pastor Joylene, who have given me this opportunity today in this platform to be addressing you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you, pastors, for giving us this opportunity. Allow me also to acknowledge my co-leaders, Mr. Baloyi, Mrs. Mabasa, and Mrs. Baloyi, who I work with in the GFG ministry. I thank you for being with us also. And let me take this opportunity, like I said, it's live streaming today. I'm not alone. We are going to have a discussion today. Our session is taking a form of a dialogue. I'm not going alone. I am with Rivoningo Mabobo, who is one of us in the GFG ministry. He is one of the youth members, and he is going to be with me today. We'll be talking to each other with the matters that are affecting us today. Let me take this opportunity and ask Rivoningo to greet you for now. And may I also indicate that Rivoningo is also a student, a varsity student with the University of Cape Town. Rivoningo, welcome in this today's session. You are one of us, you are part of us, but we decided, we saw it fit because of what is going on due to COVID, to be having you today as a student. I would like to give you this opportunity now to greet the audience.
Good afternoon to the audience watching out there. Good afternoon to all our GFG members, and good afternoon to all other people watching. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Rivoningo. Today we are looking at the topic how to succeed during COVID-19 in our studies. You will all understand what we are facing now today. The problems that COVID-19 has come with, that even now most schools are still closed because of COVID-19. And even though some students have returned back to classes, but most grades are still closed. That is one problem amongst many problems that I am not going to talk to today, but I want us to look at what we can do in order for us to still learn, in order for us to still continue and learn and not allow COVID-19 to interrupt our studies today. And then we'll be talking to each other. It's like I indicated, it's a form of a dialogue kind of a session today. I'm not going to be talking alone. We'll be discussing with Rivoningo. Like I said, he is a student. I am also a student. So I know very well that as a student, what is going on out there. I am well aware of the impact of COVID in our studies. And I know, like I believe Rivoningo also has experience that he will share with us today. Rivoningo, can you take us through how has this COVID-19 affected your studies in this year, and how are you coping?
I think for myself, I've been trying to cope the best way possible that I can by trying to navigate this new time in a way that best suits me. So, for example, I've just been trying to work in a schedule that works best for me, because I'm someone who likes to work in a very quiet space, and you know, when you're at school, when you're in university, that's very much easier because you can go to the library and it's a designated study area, so it's always quiet. But then at home you have like little brothers who are always loud and stuff, so you can't just study for them anymore. So what I've done is I've decided that I'm going to start waking up at night and I'll do my work then, because at that time it's quiet, there's no distractions. And because of the pandemic, I'm able to wake up a little bit later than I usually would, because I don't have to stress about waking up early and going to a lecture. So these are some of the advantages that we can look around and build around during this COVID time.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is that even though we are not able to go to our normal classes, we can still continue learning in this period. We can still continue and make it in our studies in this 2020. Is that what you are saying?
Exactly. I think we should get rid of the misconception that in order to learn or to progress in life, you have to be in a lecture room or you have to be in front of a lecture. You can always teach yourself from home. You can always get different resources from home. And for me personally, I feel as though you learn much more from learning by yourself rather than from another person.
I agree with you. As I've indicated, I'm also a student. I feel it's not a problem for us not to be in our classes today. We can still continue. We can still learn more, even on our own. So COVID-19 has brought us a shift that we need to shift in our minds to say that we don't only learn in the classroom, we can learn on our own by studying on our own, researching on our own. Is that what you are talking about?
That's exactly right.
And you also mentioned that you have your own time, and you also look at you prefer to study at night. So this says to me that you will correct me that it's a positive thing, because now you look at having your own timetable, prioritizing according to what you understand much more or what you don't understand, so that you work according to your priorities. Am I right?
And also just to elaborate on being able to learn by yourself. I remember yesterday I had a conversation with our listener, and he was just telling me how he was just talking to me about how when companies want to sell something to you, they give you a little bit of a taste of that thing for free, and then later on you're gonna come back for more and more because you're quote addicted to that thing. So, for example, this made me remember this project that Harvard University came up with. And in this project, it talks about, it's a project in which they've started an initiative. And within this initiative, they're giving out more than 400 different courses online, free. And this is arguably one of the best universities out there. So if such a big global entity is able to recognize this gap in the market, in this new market, and utilize it in this way, this just goes to show that we as people who are merely just living in society, we also have to adapt. We also have to come into this new era. Because the reason they're doing this is because they know that now, after the pandemic, having online learning is going to become less of a choice and more of a necessity. So I think this is something that we ourselves will also adapt to, start learning on ourselves, start also checking out maybe websites that are able to give free information online, going to informal types of learning, and even these formal types of learning from Harvard. I mean, imagine doing a course online from one of the best universities for free. These are some of the advantages that you can utilize during this time.
So in addition, Beloved, to that you get to set your own time to focus on what you want to focus. We are learning today that some universities offer online classes. Am I right? wherein you can even get more information while at the comfort of your home. While you are at your home, you can still learn more as a student, whether it's you are at the varsity level or even at schooling level, at the basic education. I know there is what we call Zoom classes. There's a website that I know that I will give it to you just now, wherein when you check on it, you get free classes for all grades. Free classes for all grades. There you find professional teachers offering all those lessons from grade R to grade 12. So it's not only the varsity level wherein you can find free education or free classes, free online classes. So what we are saying now is that COVID-19, yes, it is a negative thing that will come to our lives. But then we need not to dwell on it as being negative as it is. There is a positive side of it that it has brought in our life, which is homeschooling, which is informal learning, which is your online learning, which in it you can still get even more information from what Rivoningo has said.
Definitely. I mean, the internet is the biggest source of information. If you have anything to dive into, you learn about anything. So, for students who are maybe struggling with things that they're not too sure how to get information, not too sure where to go, I would suggest a website like Google Scholar, for example, where at Google Scholar, you can literally type any topic that you want to know more about. If maybe you're learning about something at school and it doesn't make much sense to you, you could go on Google Scholar and type in that certain topic, and then it'll give you many different articles and many different journals from the top scholars in those fields, and then they can sort of, guide you on more information on that topic. And even in those articles that they write about, they'll suggest it to other scholars. So, there's many different ways to learn on the internet. There's many different websites and tools that you can use. So let's utilize all these tools during this time.
And all you need is data, right?
All you need is data.
So with data, I will also like to talk to our parents today to say, parents, let's support our children. Let's support these people as they are at home, working from home. If it's data that they need, let's buy them data. Let's not complain and say I don't have money. It's for their own good and also for your own good as well, because you will understand that you get so happy when your child is making it at school. So let's support them. If they come to you having questions, let's not just dismiss them and say I don't know. Let's go and find out more information. We can even still use the same resources of checking through the internet to get more information and go back to them and try by all means that we be there for them, we assist them. I believe they also need our support in this time, because it's a difficult time that we are facing today. Am I right, Rivoningo?
Yeah, you're right. And just to touch on that, the whole point about having data, it's important because in this time we're using a lot of apps to connect with people, like you said, for example, the Zoom app that most institutions of learning are using right now to connect with students. So in Zoom, for example, this is an app where you can have a video conference call with your lecturers and your peers, and then this is something that we've been doing at the institution where I learn, where is the University of Cape Town. So for example, let's say we have like an assignment due in 2 days, we have a Zoom video call with the lecturer, and then everybody gets to ask questions on things that they may not understand. The lecturer elaborates, and also other students bring in their own opinion. And what I personally like about Zoom is that, I understand that not everybody is comfortable with like having that online presence and having their faces seen by everyone and stuff. So with Zoom, you're able to mute yourself so that so that no one can see your face, but you can still talk to you can still interact.
Participate.
So this is something that is very helpful. It's an advantage, especially for those people who maybe in lecture rooms they feel a bit shy, or they feel as though they don't want to ask questions because they don't want to sound stupid, or sound as though have other people laugh at them because what they're saying is irrelevant, or they feel like, you know, everyone knows this, so why am I asking? I'm gonna sound stupid. Yeah.
So it is not all lost with COVID-19. Year 2020, there is still enough time for us to catch up. Even though we may say we have lost those 2-3 months, but we can still catch up using. You mentioned Google Scholar. You mentioned with the universities they have got programs. I also indicated that even Zoom has got Zoom classes for all grades. And then we talk of internet to search information to find more of what you are learning about. So we cannot sit down and say, because we are not going to school, therefore we this year is done and dusted. There is nothing we can do. There's still more out there that we can do. There's still more out there that we can even look around and get help, even from our fellow students, even from our parents. And I understand with Zoom you can also interact as groups. You can form groups and participate, maybe getting a past question paper wherein you look at it all together as a group of students or of the same class. You can do that, right?
Yeah, you can do that with Zoom. I mean, one thing I've been doing with some of my peers is we've been just going through, especially now before this exam time, we've just been going through past papers on Zoom, and then like maybe we'll do past papers, and then we'll set up a meeting and say, okay, tonight at 8 o'clock we'll be on Zoom, and then we'll go through that past paper. We see the different answers that we all have, and then correct each other depending on who went wrong where, and that sort of thing.
And it's very helpful, I understand.
It is very helpful. I mean, at the end of the day, if we're gonna say just because there's a pandemic we're just gonna relax and not be productive, then I think we're gonna spend the whole year doing nothing, because it seems like this pandemic is going to be here for a while. Yeah.
And we can't just sit and do nothing. You know, even with us, I'm with UNISA now, studying with UNISA. We have groups of students. We are using WhatsApp. So it's not only a Zoom that you can use as student. Also WhatsApp, you can use, group yourselves in the groups and have something that you know that today we are tackling this part of this subject, so that we all help each other, we all learn and understand. At the end of the day, you will understand that you don't only learn in the class. We can also, there are other ways that we can explore.
So definitely this time is a time which we need to use technology more and more to be able to connect with our friends, with our teachers and all that, because now you're not able to be physically with other people. But then also at the same time, as human beings, we are social beings, and we may need a little bit of motivation and that sort of thing, especially as high school students, you know, who are used to teachers kind of spoon feeding them and always pushing them, telling them that, you know, you need to push, you need to go for your goals, you can't relax. So I just have a question for you on how have you been navigating through that, and how have you been able to motivate, for example, the GFG learners who may be used to having you guys always pushing them and being there for them for support in a time like this?
We know that is why we exist as the ministry. We are not only looking at the spiritual part of our lives. We focus mostly on spiritual part. We focus also in our careers. We focus also in our character generally. We are building in on different areas of our lives. So with school as well, we like we are doing right now. This is part of the plan. Even when we don't have this COVID, we had planned for this year to be taking our group through career guidance. Like I know even from next week, we are having a lineup of people who will be coming to motivate them to engage with us, and we learn by even involving a lot of people, while we also teach them as leaders in our classes.
Okay, okay, that this just goes to say that these talks are very important, especially in a time like this. You're not able to go to church. You're not able to go to, for example, speak about a session on how to study and all those type of things. So these are the sort of platforms that are necessary and will be used in a time like this.
Of course. Yes.
Too. So is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And again, when you interact with people, and also when you have your own time, like now when you are at your houses, when you are homeschooling, you have a lot of time at your disposal. You are able, as you are learning on your own, as you are studying on your own, you are able to discover yourself. You get to know what you are capable of. You get to know more about yourself, what you can do best, and when you do that, you will be able to realize even your what do you call it, your purpose in life. You will be able to, and when you have your purpose, you are gone. Once you know who you are and for what purpose are you on this planet Earth, nothing will stop you. So use this time wisely as it has come, and then find yourself, study and get to know yourself and discover yourself. Let's not be like animals. Animals, they just take life as it comes. They don't have a purpose in life. They are not purpose driven. But as human being, when you find yourself, you have a purpose in life, you chase that purpose, you work so hard in order to achieve your goals in life. You are purpose driven. In that way, you cannot be lost in life. Even in the studies areas, you cannot be lost once you know that this is the career that I want to focus on, because I am able to do 1, 2, 3 in the best way. So you are able to discover yourself at your own. You are able to know yourself better.
I definitely agree to say that during this time, you're able to notice that, okay, actually, everything that I need to do, it comes from within. You need to find that little bit sense of motivation from within yourself, because now there's no one there pushing you and emphasizing to you, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. And also, speaking of, knowing yourself better, I think during this time, one thing I've noticed is that when you're at school, for example, when you're speaking when you're learning in a lecture, you tend to become a little bit lazy to question yourself and that sort of thing, because you think, I'm gonna ask my lecturer, I'm gonna ask him later, I'm gonna ask him tomorrow. But when you're at home, you're forced to actively engage with your work, and in that way you understand it more. So instead of asking a lecturer questions, like when you go through your work by yourself and all that stuff, you can see that, okay, I don't understand this, I don't understand that, and then you can use some of these sources that we've spoken about, that you can get on the internet, to sort of connect those dots and have a deeper understanding of the work that you're learning.
Yes, you actually remind me, Rivoningo, of one philosopher and an educationalist by the name of Paulo Freire. He says for long, learning was mistaken to be like a banking system. You know what we do in our banks? We go there sometimes to deposit money, leave it there for some time, withdraw it after some time when we need to use it. Once we withdraw it and use it, it's no longer available for us to use it again. So he says learning was mistaken for to be like that, because as a child, when you start going to school, you go there without a lot of information in your head, without knowing much about what is happening in schools. You get there and you get to be given a lot of information. You are expected to store the information in your head. You are expected to discharge that information during exams. He says chances are, when that system is working, you are using that system, chances are you can even forget whatever that you have learned. And when you forget, you may not use it in the future. So he encourages students and learners to be actively involved in the learning process. You take charge by being yourself, studying on your own, researching on your own, and get more information than what you get when you are in the class, because in the class it is structured that today we are going to give you this much information, but when you are on your own you can even do more.
Yeah, that's exactly the point that I was trying to bring across, to say that when you actively do work by yourself, you understand it more easily, and you know, it's more sustainable in the sense that you're gonna remember that information because you did it yourself, and you know, you were actively involved in critically engaging with the work. So yeah, I think that's one big advantage about this pandemic. And also you can also be able to just maybe look at other things that you've never had time to look at before. You know, to read that book that you've never had time to read before, to do that goal or whatever that's been itching inside you, but you're like, I don't have time, I'm gonna do it whenever. You know, to just can do your skincare routine that you thought you never had time for. Now you're at home in the house, you know. So also you can read more of the Bible, get closer to God, that sort of thing.
Okay. So as I indicated earlier on, there is a website that I would like to give it to you that you can check and also get to have these classes while you are at home. One of the websites is from the Department of Education, is www.education.gov.za. In there, you will when you get in, you will notice that there is a whole lot of information that Department of Education is providing, including the learning and teaching support material. So you cannot say, I don't have a textbook with me, I don't have this and this. In that website, you have all sort of material, teaching and learning material. And also, in the same website of education, you will find that education is also offering online classes for free. Yes. And then another website is where you get the live Zoom classes. It's Africa Teen Jigs. Africa Teen Jigs. It's where you can get live videos being done by professional teachers. They teach in all for all the grades. They offer all the classes. So depending on your schedule, like we indicated, that make time for your schedules. You will make time also to sit down and have a look at those teachings and learn more from them. Like we indicated, you can use your Zoom. I'm not gonna go back there. I'm just recapping now. And then your internet, Rivoningo, and you also mentioned Google Scholar. So we've got a lot good people that we can use. We cannot sit down and say it is over with 2020.
Yeah, and I think as matric learners of this year, it's important for you to acquaint yourself with this sort of learning. Not only because it's probably going to become very normal from now on, but it kind of has been that way at university level, because when you're there, all you really get from a lecturer is just them telling you 1, 2, 1, 2, you know, telling you a few things in a lecture. And then after that, it's up to you to be able to navigate through whatever they've been telling you and get more information on everything. So it is a bit of an advantage for you guys in the sense that you've gotten to be able to work with technology a lot earlier than usually.
And before I forget, Ribongo, in that website of education, we can also find past question papers that when after you have studied on your own, you can test yourself how much you understand and be able to seek for clarities where it's needed. So it is not all lost. Remember, as a child of God, as we conclude, Riboningo, as a child of God, remember, you are not alone in this battle. You've got God with you. You've got the Holy Spirit in you. For as long as you once received Jesus as your Lord and Savior, what you need to do is just to awaken Him. He's right in you, inside you. He's not far. The Word of God says He rests in you. So you cannot sit down and say, I can't. You've got your helper, you've got your guider. He's the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of understanding, the spirit of might, the spirit of knowledge. So you cannot fail while having the Holy Spirit, who is all these things that I have just mentioned. As your closing remarks, Rivoningo, what can you say?
Just like to say, I hope you guys take all this information on board, especially as matric learners, because you're really gonna need this during this time. And just take this time to work hard and, you know, utilize the way there's no distractions at home, like in terms of friends and, you know, going out and that type of thing. Just use this time to be able to focus on your studies and excel. And I'm wishing all of you guys the best. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for having you today, Rivoningo. We're looking forward to doing more sessions with you. And let me conclude by saying that, remember, it is the year of grace upon grace. We have enough grace to sustain us. We have enough grace to take us through even this difficult time. We will make it, I know for sure. Please join us again next week, Saturday, as we continue with career guidance. We will be joined with more professionals will be joining us as we take you through career guidance. Thank you for tuning in, and let's meet again next week. Thank you.